you ever seen that meme where there's this woman and she's squinting out into the future, outside perhaps, and she's trying to figure out what chapter of the book of Revelation that we're going to live out today? You ever seen that meme? That's kind of where we're at today in today's news article. But before I get there, I'll just let you know that the last video I did on the biofire, it was demonetized by YouTube. And that's why that's the thing. I really appreciate you guys who support me on Patreon. Patreon.com/AnAmericanHomestead. Links in the description below. We're going to be still giving these away, these PDFs, these herbal extract books. They're very expensive if you bought them on Amazon. One's like $800, one's like $900 if you bought it. And it's valuable because of the information contained within. And that's just one thing that I give you access to when you join my Patreon. The other thing is today's news article. It's chicken feed for everybody. So recently on Patreon, I talked about how you can feed your chickens post-collapse. And that was a very popular, a lot of people had opinions about it. And so you can find that over at Patreon, at our website, at AmericanHomestead.com, at our Patron link up there in the main menu. At AmericanHomestead.com, Patron link. And you can learn how some of the things that I suggest on feeding your chickens post-collapse. But the good news is that it looks like this spring is going to be a whole bunch of free chicken food for a whole bunch of people. Let's get into the article. The cicadas are coming, and if you're in the Midwest or in the Southeast, they will be more plentiful than ever, or at least since the Louisiana Purchase. This spring, for the first time since 1803, two cicada groups known as Brood 19, if you know how to read Roman numerals, or the Great Southern Brood and Brood 13, or the Northern Illinois Brood, are set to appear at the same time in what is known as a dual emergence. The last time the Northern Illinois Brood's 17-year cycle aligned with the Great Southern Brood's 13-year period, Thomas Jefferson was president. After this spring, it'll be another 221 years before the broods, which are geographically adjacent, appear together again. Nobody alive today will see it happen again, said Floyd Shockley, an entomologist and collections manager at the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History. That's really rather humbling, he said. These insects will begin to appear in late April, and they'll use their forelegs to tunnel out of the earth and their beady red eyes looking for a spot where they can peacefully finish maturing. A few days after they emerge and molt, the males will start buzzing in an effort to find a mate. A slow building crescendo of noise in a chorus can be louder than a plane, and it is. I haven't really heard a big cicada uproar in the last few years, so maybe this is going to be it. Shockley said that the dual emergence would most likely result in more than 1 trillion cicadas appearing in the roughly 16-state area where the two broods are generally seen. Forested areas, including urban green spaces, will have a higher number than agricultural reasons. Now, why is that? Why do you think the urban spaces are going to have higher numbers than the agricultural reasons? I think, my personal opinion, is because the agricultural regions are more filled with predators who will eat these things as they emerge. But you leave your comments below and let me know what you think. To put that into perspective, 1 trillion cicadas, each of which are over 1 inch long, would cover 15.7 million miles if they were laid end to end. That cicada train would reach to the moon and back 33 times. Interesting number. One of the more exciting aspects of this dual emergence, Shockley said, lies in the possibility of interbreeding along the narrow band in northern Illinois where the two broods will overlap. So you folks in northern Illinois, the Chicago area, this is going to be fun. Under just the right circumstances and with just the right number of individuals crossbreeding, he said, you will have the possibility of the creation of a new brood set to a new cycle. This is an extremely rare event. Chicago. I don't think it could happen to a better place. In most cases, Shockley said, the cicadas, which live about a month. See, I've been telling you people for a long time who live in Illinois, it's time to get out of that state. But you won't listen. Nope, you're still there. You won't listen. I don't care. Well, Zach, it's really hard to sell our homes. Nobody wants to buy here. Then just leave. Okay, now you're all gonna get overrun by cicadas. In most cases, Shockley said, the cicadas, which live about a month, will die not far from where they had emerged, but since they're not great flyers and even worse landers, cicadas often end up on sidewalks and city streets where they can be squished by people or cars and can conceivably make things slick. So you've heard of ice, coming over your roads. Now we'll have cicada slicks, I guess. In urban areas, there will be sufficient numbers to necessitate removal of their bodies. But rather than throwing in the trash or cleaning up with street sweepers, people should consider them basically free fertilizer for the plants in their gardens and natural areas. So there's going to be so many of these things. People are going to have to go out and shovel them. I mean, are we, what chapter of the book of Revelation are we in today? According to the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, during a 1990 cicada emergence, there were reports from people in Chicago having to use snow shovels to clear their sidewalks of the dead cicadas. So I was right. Have fun, Chicago. The first wave of periodical cicadas, which differ from those that appear annually in smaller numbers, will show up in northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi, northern Georgia, and up into western South Carolina. Then it'll be central North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, and northern Arkansas, followed by southern Missouri, southern Illinois, and western Kentucky. Finally, he said the cicadas will appear throughout central and northern Missouri and Illinois. So it looks like the Ozarks are going to get blanketed here. But Illinois looks like it's where they're all going to converge. This overlap is going to happen. Northern Missouri and Illinois, northwestern Indiana, southern Wisconsin, and eastern Iowa. All told, these areas will be buzzing for about 6 weeks as the insects fly around looking to mate and deposit their eggs into slits they cut into trees and branches. They'll die, bringing with them an unforgettable smell described by Shockley as similar to rotting nuts as their bodies decay. The insects are clumsy flyers, making them easy prey for predators like birds, and that would be chickens. They don't bite, sting, or carry any diseases as they serve as natural tree gardeners. The holes they leave behind help aerate the soil and allow for rainwater to get underground and nourish tree roots in hot summer months. And the slits they make in trees can cause some branches to break, and the leaves then turn brown in a process known as flagging. But it's like a natural pruning, and when the tree grows the branch again, the fruit will be larger. The cicadas' rotting bodies provide nutrients that trees need. They're very important to the ecosystem in the eastern deciduous forest. I'm sure we'll figure out a way to screw this up too. If they're that important, we'll figure out a way to absolutely destroy these things. We'll spray and spray and spray until they're all gone. Because Chicago can't be, put out and made to be left uncomfortable. We have to deal with this, obviously. John Cooley, a biology professor at the University of Connecticut, said that his best advice for people living in the regions of the dual emergence is to let the bugs be. The forest is where they live. Well, unless they're not living in the forest, unless they're living in Chicago. They are part of the forest. Don't try to kill them. Don't try to spray insecticide, all that kinds of thing. That's just going to end badly because there are more than you could possibly kill with insecticide, and you'll end up just killing everything else, and probably including yourself. If you have delicate, which I guess in Chicago, never mind. If you have delicate plants you want to protect, Cooley said, use special netting created for that purpose. While the prospect of the 1 trillion cicadas that the dual emergence is expected to bring might sound horrifying to some, Shockley emphasized that the awe of this rare natural event. Don't be scared of it. Embrace it for the wondrous event that it is, and embrace the fact that it's very temporary. It will be intense, but it will be short-lived. We'll remember that as Chicago comes under fire and, they're dealing with all of these mountains of cicadas having to snow shovel them across their sidewalks. So what about you? Are you looking forward to the free chicken food that I'm looking forward to? Yes, it may be uncomfortable for a while. Yes, it may be loud for a while. But as you've just read, it's going to be a lot worse for those people living in the cities. And again, I think that's because of the lack of natural predators. There's less things that eat these things that will feed on these things. We have lots of mammals even, possums and stuff like that will eat, these insects. And the cities just don't have as many of these as, the country does. So what are your thoughts? Do you think that Chicago is going to get overrun? Do you think Chicago deserves to be overrun at this point? Leave a comment below. I'm really interested to hear what your thoughts are. I'm not wearing one of my shirts in the rotation this week. I am wearing the Shepherd's Crook Coffee shirt. These guys are always, it's a family run business based over in Missouri, in the Ozarks. And they're always at the Homesteading Expo that they have every year. And they always give me a cup of free coffee sometimes. And but I subscribe to them. I pay for my subscription to them. In fact, I think I'm going to up my subscription because the coffee I'm getting is just not enough. I have 1 cup a day, and well, maybe a cup and a half, thereabouts. And it's just not enough. So I think I'm going to have to up my subscription. I'm having to supplement and go to the store and buy more coffee. So if you're looking for a coffee, from a company here in the Ozarks, family-based business, check out Shepherd's Crook. Give them a try. Also, thanks to you guys who are patrons. I could not do this channel without you guys. YouTube has basically cut us off at this point, and it's ridiculous. And you patrons are the ones keeping us afloat. So I really appreciate that. If you're interested in some of the stuff that we offer, you can join Patreon at the $1, just get you in the door. You can get access to the videos and stuff like that. Giveaways, you have to get in at the $3 level at a minimum. We're going to be doing some more giveaways. Right now, Oupes is having a major winter sale, and you can click on the link in the description below or on our website for the Oupes Power. It's right there on the website. And check out some of their sales. You can save over $1,000 in their winter sale. And then also we're giving another solar generator away coming up soon to the patrons only, those who subscribe at the $3 a month level or higher. All right, guys, leave a comment below about the cicadas, the free chicken food that's coming up. I love free things, especially when nature gives it to you. It saves you money. Interested in your thoughts. See you next time at the Homestead. Bye. Hey guys, we know that a lot of our audience are homeschoolers. Homeschooling here is very important to us. And if you're like us, maybe you've had a hard time training your youngsters to memorize their times tables. Well, I want to introduce you to a program today that I think will help with that. This is Times Tables. It's perfect for small children. At age 7, my youngest son has his multiplication tables memorized. All of them. Times Tales is a series of stories that your child learns in a video. The video presents a simple story that your child can easily recall from memory and assist them in easily remembering the multiplication facts. My late wife Jamie made a video talking about how our oldest child still was having problems with times table memorization. Until we tried Times Tales. After months of getting behind and stressful struggling, Times Tales was almost an overnight correction and allowed him to get back on track with his math courses. So I want you to give this a try. They have different packages available, and there's going to be a link in the description below. Every purchase you make from this program is going to help the homestead. Give it a try. It worked for us. I'm sure it can work for you and your child too.
I know my math facts.
Hey there. Thanks for watching our channel. If you're looking for great off-grid homesteading videos, this is the channel for you. Hit that subscribe button and be sure to like the video you just watched. You can also feel free to send us your questions by going to anamericanhomestead.com on our contact page and send me your question. Your question might get made into a video. In the meantime, check out some of these other great videos. Oh wait, go ahead and click them. Go ahead.